right, good morning. No, I'm not working out. So I just wanted to run through that grip with you on your front squats. So inherently, front squats are a mental exercise more than anything else. I think they're kind of on the same page with like a barbell hip thrust, where the setup is a little uncomfortable, it's a little tedious, but the payoff and the bang that you get for that exercise is worth it. And the more you do it, the more comfortable it becomes, and the more comfortable you feel with that movement. And the more you can really just then start to focus on the exercise instead of like the setup for it. So with that being said, give yourself time, like months, to feel more confident, more comfortable with this exercise. And that will, if you give yourself that ramp up to like say, okay, I'm just focusing instead of focusing on anything else, I'm focusing on feeling good with my form first and the setup, that'll allow us to like kind of ease into it and really get the most out of the movement. So I recommend a 2-finger grip. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go peace signs here, and you're going right outside your shoulders. So I would come and scoop right outside my shoulders. Based on your range of motion and your lats and your shoulders, it was gonna kind of dictate how wide you really need to go. If you have better range of motion, you can keep that pretty tight. When we go with our full fingers, you can do that, but it's a lot harder to get into that front rack position, and it's harder on the wrist. When I go with 2 fingers, now I'm opening up that angle in my wrists and just allowing for a little bit more comfort in that position. So yes, it's gonna feel like you're getting choked out by the bar. That's a good thing. So we wanna find that nice position between our delts and our clavicle and our neck. Essentially, we're creating a shelf with our upper body for the barbell to rest on, so that in theory, I could come here into my rack position, take my hands away, and I could squat up and down without my hands on the bar. Excuse me. So that's in theory, right? Obviously, we want to keep our hands there for extra stability, support. But when we're here, the bar is really just supported by our delts, by our clavicle, and the neck. It's got a nice little resting position. Our fingers are really just there for added support. Now that we are in that setup position, we want to focus on our descent. So we're here, you're thinking about keeping your chest up. We still push the hips back, allow the knees to track over the toes. Keeping your elbows up in the bottom of your squat is what you're really going to want to focus on. So elbows up, elbows up. As we come out of the bottom of your squat, you want to think about shining your chest to the wall, to the ceiling. So we want that chest to lead first, and that's going to help you stay upright throughout your squat. I love the front squat because it's going to force you to stay tall. If you lean forward, guess where that bar is going? To the ground. And that's also a nice thing about this exercise, is that if you ever do get to the point where you're pushing your weight and you're challenging yourself a bit, it's really easy to fail. So you just fail forward, right? Like if we get stuck at the bottom of our squat, we're here, we've got our safety bar racked, loaded, we would just fall forward, fail forward. So it's very safe in that regard, whereas like if you're loaded with a back squat, it's a little harder. So try those things out. Let's give it time. And of course, if we go through it a few weeks, a few months, and you're not into it, we can always sub it out for a different exercise.
Is Frankie okay if she